I'm Dr. Christy Mulkey, and I'm the workshop coordinator for 240 Tutoring. Today, we're going to do a short video on the executive order that's been issued in California as it relates to teacher certification testing. So let's get started. If you've heard about this executive order, then you may have some questions about, does this apply to me? How does this work? We're going to try to answer those for you. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can easily follow along. And again, this information is based off of the executive order that was issued in June of 2020. And we're going to be looking at what do you need to know? So who does this apply to and what does that mean to you if it does? So let's get started. Why did this executive order happen? It's due to limited testing availability because of COVID-19. So lots of people weren't able to test due to the pandemic. And so this executive order is going to lengthen some timelines and give some more flexibility to those who are still needing to test. This is going to allow candidates who are ready to move into the teaching profession in the fall to go ahead and do so, and those who are ready to enter preparation programs to also go ahead and do so. Now, who specifically does this apply to? Now, there is a key thing no matter which group you're in. So I want to note this right here. This executive order applies to those whose ability to test was impacted by COVID-19 during this window, March 19th to August 31st. Now, if you were able to test prior to March 19th, you need to contact your program about your specific circumstances and see if this order is going to apply to you. Now, we're going to talk about all three of these groups individually, but no matter what, you had to have been impacted in this window for it to apply. Now, what's changing? So those candidates who were set to finish their program in May of 2020 and enter the teaching profession this fall of 2020, what this allows for you to do is go ahead and be recommended for that preliminary credential. So if you were unable to complete your performance assessment or the RICA, if you were unable to test for the RICA, you now can go ahead and get that preliminary credential, begin teaching, and you have until you're ready for that clear credential to pass that RICA or to complete that performance assessment. So it's just extended the timeline and allowed you to go ahead and get that preliminary credential. The second group this applies to are those who are looking to enter a program in 2020. So if you were looking to begin a teacher preparation program in the fall of 2020, then this means before you had to attempt the CBEST and that program had to look at your data in order to admit you. Now you can go ahead and enter that program and you have to complete the CBEST before that preliminary credential can be issued or recommended. So you do not have to attempt the CBEST prior to admission to the program. Okay, now that's if you were impacted in that time frame of March 19th to August 31st. So if you aren't looking to enter the program till the spring or fall of 2021, then this would probably not apply to you unless the pandemic extends or something changes. Now, intern candidates who were looking at the 2021 school year, those who needed to take their CSET, instead of it having to be completed prior to that intern credential, you can now go ahead and be recommended for that intern credential, and you have until that preliminary credential to complete and pass that CSET exam. So you now have a longer window to get that done. So really, what does this do for all three groups? You might be asking yourself, hey, I can delay my exam. This is still not a good idea to procrastinate. Most of us know that procrastination usually doesn't end well for most people. So what we would recommend at 240 Tutoring is you go ahead and at least begin preparing for whatever exam it is you're needing to complete. And take that as soon as it becomes available to you. All right, remember, all this executive order did was suspend those requirements. It did not eliminate them. It gave you a longer window. Now you have a longer window to complete those requirements. So it might have extended your window out from preliminary to a clear credential, from an intern credential to a preliminary credential. It might have allowed you to go ahead and enter the program, but it doesn't remove the requirement. You're still going to have to take the exam. So if you've heard rumors that that executive order made the exams go away, that's not accurate. What it did was extend the timeline. So my advice to you would be, if you are in your first year interning or you're in your clinical teaching, you are going to be exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, and adding the stress of preparing for this exam can make that even harder. So again, we go ahead and recommend that you begin your preparation and sign up and take it as soon as possible. If you're one of those people who is looking to enter the teaching profession this fall, please know that when you go to interview, school districts are going to look at 2 candidates who interview about the same. And if this one's already passed their RICA and finished their performance assessment and has all of that done, and you don't, but you interviewed about the same, they're going to choose the person who's already completed those requirements. So it may knock you out of a job that you want, because they're always going to choose the most qualified applicant if you interview about the same. So we don't recommend you procrastinate. Go ahead and begin your preparation as soon as you can find a place to test and that feels safe and appropriate for you. We recommend you go ahead and do that. Now, we're going to post in the comments of this video this link, but here it is right here. It's the CTC COVID-19 resources. So you can click on there and see their full webinar, all the links to all the resources they have related to COVID-19 and this executive order. Again, we are always available here at 240 Tutoring. You have support. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram if you are on Instagram, and see our most current information and the resources that we have for you. All of these links will be posted in the comments of this video, and you will find this video on all of our social media. If you have any specific questions, you can comment on this video and we will answer those, or you can email us at workshops@240tutoring.com. I hope this has been helpful and clarified some things for you. And again, I'm Dr. Christy Mulkey with 240 Tutoring. Thank you.